Hi there. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome back to the channel. I know by the time you guys click on this video, it would have been a few months since I stepped away from YouTube. And today I'm kind of just here to kind of let you guys know that I'm back, to tell you where I've been, what I've been doing, why I stepped back from YouTube, and just give you guys an idea of what to expect on the channel and give you guys an idea of kind of where I'm at in life now and where I've been. If you've been following me from the start, you know that I have done a little bit of everything. So I've done vlogs, like travel vlogs, a day in my lives, little sit down talk with me videos, and I've done like a little bit of everything. And I would say the past 7 years had allowed me to experiment with different things, which I love doing anyway, because I'm the kind of person, I have to see a little bit of everything for me to like piece everything together and figure out what I like, what I don't like. So for me, that was a blessing, and it's nice to do it when you don't have a lot of eyes on you, because it just gives you the space to be free, and you know, like nobody's judging, nothing like that. So I'm always like kind of like in my shell a little bit when it comes to you know, experimenting in general. And I feel like that just allowed me to be able to just be myself completely. And I think my mindset has always been like, I'm gonna create what I want to create, and I'm not gonna make videos for clickbaits, and I'm not gonna make videos for trend purposes, and I'm not gonna make videos just so people just can watch it. I've always had the mindset of like, hey, I'm gonna make something really authentic, make something that I feel is very close to my heart and aligns with kind of what I'm trying to go in life and what I'm trying to do, things that are authentic to what's happening in my life, so that you guys can relate and have fun with it as well. So that's kind of the channel's history a little bit. But I had to step away from YouTube because I was like, okay, I felt very much like I was surviving, I wasn't really living. And I felt that I needed to just take a break from everything, from social media, from everything. Like if you go to my social media, I've deleted everything because I was like, yeah, like I need a break from social media, from everything. I need time alone, I need time in the quiet place, I need time to just be quiet and like not have the whole world like noise occupying my head. And when I tell you, like, that changes everything, like it changes everything. Your life will start to align in the way that it's supposed to. Like it's insane. And I started questioning like things that I want to do with my life. And you know, I started really focusing on school and work and creating my content, because even when I was taking a break, I still was creating. And that's the beautiful beauty of it. And I'm filming this like way ahead of time as well, so like you guys watching this video is gonna be like much later, because I was like, let me take a break, let me get immersed in the day-to-day and enjoy life exactly where I'm at now. And I did. Like every single day my life felt much fuller and it felt much better, because I was journaling, I was exercising, eating properly, basically just disciplining myself and focusing more on school and work and my relationships around me, and spending a lot of time alone because I needed that. It changed everything, and it gave me basically my vision back because I think for a long time I was kind of just feeling a little bit, I knew what I wanted to do obviously with my life, and I still do know what I want to do with my life, but it's more of like, okay, how do we aim it to where I'm going in that direction? And that was the challenge for me. And I think I like taking a break from everything, like social media wise, really helped with that. Another reason as to why I took a break from YouTube was because I honestly felt that this channel was growing and I wanted to grow and I wanted to continue to grow. But it's very important to connect to your origins of like why you're doing something, because I feel like sometimes you do things because, you know, it's what you love to do and, you know, it's what makes sense to you. But I don't want to put something out there where it makes sense for me, but it goes out there and it gets misinterpreted in a different way. But when I was thinking about that, I also thought about like artists and people that put out things and stuff like that. And I also thought about like God. And for me, like, think about people that just put out, like artists that put out their art. You know, they don't really care about like how that's gonna be perceived by the world. Like the world is gonna perceive it in so many different ways. maybe they still care about what they're putting out. Of course, like everyone should be worried about their intention and why they're doing something. Of course, that's very important. I'm talking about more on accepting how the world is going to perceive something, is what I'm saying. And that is okay, that people are going to perceive whatever you put out into the world in very different ways, and you cannot let that stop you from creating. I feel like when you're with God and you're consulting him in these things, and I feel like a lot of artists probably do that is they connect to their higher power and they ask questions, and they're so connected to their higher power that nothing can move them. And that, what that does is it gives you stability, and it gives you something to fall back on, and it gives you a sense of like deep knowing that you're doing the right thing because it's your calling and it's what God wants you to do. And anytime that gets misaligned, you have people around you, but not only that, you have your higher power, the Lord, to tell you, hey, like, you're misstepping and you need to do this. And so that's why I feel like when you do have God with you, and it's like your life is being like seen in that way, people are gonna see God and his work in you, and that is what makes it beautiful. And that's why I was like, okay, I need to get a better understanding of that. And I think I did after a lot of conversations, a lot of talking to the Lord, a lot of like reading the Bible and understanding like why I needed to do what I needed to do and things like that. It finally made sense, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and hopefully it goes the right way. Because I've deleted everything due to rebranding a little bit, right? Like just due to wanting to do something completely different. And while those videos are always going to stay with me because they're kind of like on private, and y'all don't even, I guess it's a little too much information, but they're on private and I didn't delete them all the way. So that means that I still have access to see all the work that I've done, all that fun stuff. It's just, I just feel like I needed to delete them because I wanted to just start fresh and have a niche. And if you haven't noticed by now, like the niche has boiled down to sit down and talk with me now. I think I did a few of those after experimenting with so many things, and it seems like it's what you guys like, it's what you guys are kind of responding to, which I genuinely feel like I love doing anyway. So I was like, if they're responding to well, and I love doing it anyway, because all I do in my real life is just talk, and that's all I do, just because I love conversations and I love storytelling and I love conversations. Like, I don't know how people don't like talking. Like, I just don't understand it, because it's like all I do with my coworkers, it's all I do with my family, it's all I do with friends and family and everything. So I just feel like that's kind of what I'm doing with this now, is I'm just sitting down with you guys, and while I don't have all the answers and I'm not an expert, I'm just sharing with you like things that have helped me, and I'm just sharing with you just kind of like what I feel like is happening in my life, and what you guys can benefit out of that a little bit. That's kind of what I've turned the niche to, is just sit down with me, podcast style, until I can travel, because ultimately I do want this channel to be a travel vlog channel where I can travel and vlog that for you guys. That's like kind of the goal. But if that doesn't happen, then we still have something to fall back to, which is the podcast. And I just want to say straight off the bat before we like continue with this video, is that I am a very creative individual, which means I like all things creative. So art, dancing, modeling, acting, painting, writing, and all of that is kind of it's my way of expressing my creativity. And so for me, this channel has always been about that, but I just didn't know how to do what. And I think as the years have gone on, like, I feel like it's formed itself to something, and that is that it's now become just this way of storytelling, which is through me sitting down and talking to you guys about various different topics and just connecting in that way. And so I think that's kind of like what it's come down to now, and I love it. I love talking to you guys about certain topics that are coming up in my life. And again, I'm not an expert, but I can sit and talk to you guys about some things that I learned, some things that I feel like have been a significant thing thing that has changed completely the way I live or something like that. And so I think for a long time I stepped away from it, and I, kind of like did YouTube on and off because I always felt that I'm not really qualified to be telling you guys what like life's lessons and stuff like that. But it's like nobody has to be qualified for that, right? Like I'm just sharing my story, and I'm just sharing my experiences. And while I never want to mislead people, I'm allowed to do that. And I'm a creative being, and those of you that are creative beings, like you might be kind of going through the same things where you don't really know how to express your creativity, and you're like, how do I do it? You're probably asking the same question. My answer to you, and like my advice to anybody that's like struggling with creativity and feeling like, how can I put myself out there in a way that's not gonna like kind of, because when you put something out, I feel like you have to worry about like how we're affecting the world a little bit, and that's kind of what I've always been very cautious about. But I genuinely think if you're connected to the source, which is God or whatever you believe in, I think for me it's God, and as long as you're connected to your source, you're allowed to do what God created you to do. Like that is what you're made for. And so you should not be ashamed or feel any type of way about, wanting to create and be yourself and express your creativity in these outlets. And I think that's something that I've always been very like cautious and concerned about, because I'm like, what if I put something out there and if it affects somebody in a negative way? I know my intentions and I know why I'm doing this. So as long as I know that, I feel like I have a good foundation to creating and doing what I love, as long as it's being done through the lens of the Lord's eye, or my creator. And so that is what I've come to the conclusion of. As to what you guys can kind of expect on this channel, it's gonna be basically just podcast style. It is going to be self-help style. It is going to be conversation, and it's just me discussing with you guys certain topics that are coming up in my life. I love writing, and I've been trying to practice my writing on a day-to-day basis. I'm trying to be more disciplined and locking in a few minutes out of the day to be able to improve on my writing and things like that. And when I do those and when I journal, I'm someone that journals quite a lot. And when I journal, one thing I've seeing come up is just certain topics sticking out. So it could be me journaling like today, and I write down certain things that came up and stuff that I went through or something like that, and then I realize, wow, like today I learned how to be more patient. Today I learned how to be more like calmer, like things like that, you know what I mean? So like I feel like it became like a thing where even with my writing, like I'll pick a prompt and I'll start writing for a few minutes out of the day or something like that. So it's kind of like the past two videos that I've posted kind of came from that. It's from me journaling and writing, and then finally coming up with the topic and just being like, yeah, I'm gonna share this. So it's everything that I journaled and everything that I wrote down that eventually became a video. And that's kind of like what I'm gonna be doing now, is just me writing and journaling. And it's a form of practicing my writing for me, and it's a form of storytelling for me, and it's a form of me sharing with you guys my experiences, and hopefully that can help somebody. Yeah, that's kind of like what you guys should be expecting. Further from that, here and there, you guys are probably going to be seeing a lot of like travel vlog videos. I'm hoping within the next few years, I'm gonna be traveling as much as I can. Now, that's not a guarantee thing, but that's just like a really like hopeful thing that I have for the future. That is, I get to travel as much as possible. So you guys probably can expect videos that are like gonna be travel vlog style. And I will just post one video so you guys can kind of have an idea of like what the aesthetics and what it's gonna look like, and from there you guys decide if you like it or not. And what's another thing is, I'm always open to new ideas, so I'm always accepting like whatever you guys want to watch. You can always comment down below.